looks like John Lujan pulled it off. Very nice, very nice. Jesus. Why is it that progressive Democrats always look like they like watching their wives get What's up, guys? It's your boy MattPack420 here, coming at you with the new one. And today we're gonna talk about some election results in Texas, Virginia, and look at New Jersey and see what's going on there, because that was getting real spicy. Republican John Lujan wins a Texas seat on the south side of San Antonio that's been held by a Democrat for a very long time. It was two Hispanics going at each other. It was like watching a boxing match in Mexico. It's great. But all jokes aside, John Lujan was a former firefighter, and read in those. I don't live in San Antonio. I live in West Texas, but I don't. I do have family live in San Antonio, and a few of them were actually pulling for John Lujan. A few of them actually know John Lujan because he was a firefighter, and actually he was a firefighter close to their neighborhood, so they know John Lujan. So they were rooting for this guy. This guy's, from what I hear, is a really cool guy. I'm not from San Antonio, but I'm happy for family down in San Antonio who are very excited about John Lujan winning their district. So pretty cool. But I'm actually more interested in this Virginia race here, because this has been getting spicy. And Youngkin has pulled up the win. Listen, I got some black pill friends who were just like, it doesn't matter. They're just gonna cheat. They're just gonna find, last night when CNN was calling it or whatever, like, it doesn't matter. They're just gonna find enough votes to pull out the win anyway, like they did in 2020. I'm like, yeah, but the thing is, you can't have 110% turnout. You know what I mean? In districts, that's dumb. All right, you might be able to get away with like 10 or 12 districts across the country that are at 103, 102%. Be like, well, it's just a 2% margin of error, so you can get away with that. But you're not going to get away with like 105, 104, 107. Like that's not going to fly. So the thing is, if enough people come out, it's hard to cheat. It is, and it just, the math doesn't add up. It just they can only pull so many shenanigans before the average person's like, wait a minute, what are you doing over there? What are you doing over there? I see what you're doing over there. So, and enough people in 2020 did that. It's just the media wasn't gonna, they were gonna, those are crazy conspiracy theories. Don't listen to them. They're crazy. Nah. But no, look. When people turn out and people actually give a shit, you can change things. And look, you got a bunch of leftoids who are going up, critical race theory is a myth. They just scared you. It's like it's not real. It's fake. It's not, just ignore that. It's not true. We're not indoctrinating your children. But then when McAuliffe comes out and says that he's not in favor of family choices and thinks that we should just trust all the power of education into the state, that gets people kind of, I don't know about you, man. You say you're not indoctrinating your kids, but you're saying that you're against, parental choice and where to put your kids in school, And look, I went to public school. We all went to public school. But I was one of those kids that was very disinterested. Alright? I'm one of those kids that just squeaked by because I did not give a shit. Okay? I had so many teachers. You were so smart. You were so intelligent. Why don't you apply yourself? Because this shit sucks. Okay? This is a fucking day camp at best. Alright? And probably closer to a fucking day prison. Alright? And it's, you got teachers that don't give a shit about what's going on except fucking trying to get through their bullshit, alright? And look, I'm a human being, right? But some of these teachers shouldn't be fucking teachers, to be honest with you, okay? You can't have disinterested teachers and disinterested staff members. You'll end up with disinterested students like me. Only thing that got me through high school was listening to hard-ass fucking music, okay? And fucking gangster-ass violent rap and watching Beavis and Butthead, shit like that, okay? Playing violent video games, ooh. Oh, he's gonna shoot up the school. Oh, he's gonna play violent video games. Oh. Virginia has flipped to Youngkin, and what's funny is these Democrats are coming out and saying that this is a barometer for 22 and 24, but now they're saying, oh no, it's just, no, it's not, no, we didn't, no. Here's what's crazy, is McAuliffe had a double-digit lead not 4 weeks ago, but every time he opened his mouth, and he just kept getting worse and worse and worse, and partially it's because Joe Biden is a fucking potato president. And all his policies and all the inflation and all the shortages and everything that's going on and just all the misery that's going on in certain parts of the country has made people just kind of turn on the Democratic Party because they're in charge, right? And everyone's like, oh, it's Trump's fault. Well, you can't keep doing that, all right? Orange man's bad. Yes, I know, but he's gone, okay? The senile old poopy pants is in charge now. What are you doing? So naturally, people are going to start turning on people that are, just Democrats in general, right? Because that's the Democratic Party and they're in charge, right? And then it doesn't help that McAuliffe, every time he came out, he said something stupid and he would lose support on a week-by-week basis. Literally got into it on Twitter about somebody with that. I said he had a double-digit lead like a month ago. What the hell happened? And then there's like, oh, well, he's a critical race theory. He'll double down on critical race theory. I'm like, yeah, I mean, well, they did, but that's not all he said, all right? The guy is a complete fucking moron that tried to pander to two sides of a political party. And that's the problem with the Democrats right now, is there's two sides of the Democratic Party. You got the progressives that are saying that they lost because he wasn't embracing enough progressive policies and he wasn't going far left enough. And then you got the corporate Dems or the neo-libs or whatever you want to call them, the fucking old fuddy-duddy Democrats that are like, no, we lost because he was going too far left and going too far with the crazy policies like critical race theory and all this other horse shit. And what's funny is they're both right. They're both right because these two factions in the party, they want, different things, right? And when those two factions are split apart, you're not going to get enough people to coalesce. And that's been happening with the Democratic Party over the past decade. Ever since Obama, back in 2012, and pandered to the progressives like, I'll get you free health care, I'll get you free this and free that, and yeah, no, none of that happened. No, what the Democrats need to do is they need to get rid of the idiots like AOC. Ilhan Omar, Rashida Tlaib, all those freaking morons, the squad as you call them, alright? Those freaking morons need to go if you're going to get anything done in the Democratic Party, okay? And not to say that I like neo-libs like Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer because they're fucking globalist, fucking evil pieces of shit, and they need to go too, alright? But fact of the matter is, the Democratic Party needs to be broken down and rebuilt, okay? And it's going to take time, okay? You got to do what the Republicans did. You got to elect a psychopath as your leader for a little bit. Oh, how wonderful that was. And he may come back. I saw Mark Hamill tweet something out the other day where he tweeted out the 3 Star Wars movies, and he had A New Hope, and he had Obama's ugly ass on there, and then he had Empire Strikes Back, and he had Trump on there, and then Return of the Jedi was Joe Biden. And I'm like, yes, Mark, you're right. The best Star Wars movie for the best president. Now let's get to Joyzy. And looks like this governor race is way too close to call. I mean, oof, look at that. We got Phil Murphy. We got a 1% difference here. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if shenanigans did get pulled in this state. I wouldn't be surprised if enough ballots keep showing up until, it's just stupid. Right, but the fact that this is as close as it is in Jersey, right? Pretty interesting. So, again, I expect Murphy to slightly pull it out because I expect him just to find just enough ballots, just enough ballots to pull it out. And of course, this election's been fortified, so everything's all hunky dory, so shouldn't have to worry about any shenanigans. Last thing I wanted to get to was some Texas results on our Constitution. So we are altering some things here after all this pandemic bullshit. And some things, pretty good. Some I didn't really care. I didn't like this. This Proposition 1, allowing charitable raffles at rodeo events by Professional Rodeo Cowboys Association or the Women's Professional Rodeo Association. Unauthorized raffles can be considered illegal gambling under Texas law. Whatever. I don't really care about that. I was actually more interested in Proposition 3, banning the state from prohibiting or limiting religious services, including those in churches and other places of worship. That went through, 62-38, so a bunch of libtards over here, but good. So the state cannot mandate any closures of churches or any religious activities for any reason. So they can't mandate you to be closed in pandemics or all that horse shit or anything like that. This one's a pretty good one. Proposition 4, having candidates have at least 10 years of experience practicing law in Texas before they can be eligible for election to the Texas Supreme Court. So basically, you need to be a lawyer and understand the law and have practiced the law for a decent amount of time before you can be considered to be electable for Texas Supreme Court. Makes sense to me. This one, number 6, very important here, I believe, for a lot. And this one passed unanimously. Like, if you voted against, what the hell's wrong with you? But Proposition 6 allows residents of nursing homes and assisted living facilities to designate one essential caregiver who cannot be denied in-person visitation rights. See, that was one of the biggest issues we had, is the nursing homes completely shut down and no one was allowed in or out except for workers. And it caused a lot of harm in the nursing home community. All right, a lot of pain and sadness, and that causes a lot of death, honestly. But when you're that age and you have very little human contact, and you just kind of, some of these people are already, wavering in between, here and whatever's going on in their minds, and unfortunately, and without any kind of interaction from family, they drift off further into that blank space. So this is a very good thing, a very important law, and I'm very glad this got approved unanimously by the Texas voters. So very good on everybody, for all everybody, the Republicans, the Libertarians, the Democrats, everyone was on board for this proposition, and that's good to see. I'm glad to see something like that can unite everybody. Same thing with Proposition 7. Limiting school district property taxes incurring by the survivable spouse of person with disabilities who's over than 65. Yeah, so they're not going to raise the property tax on old people, especially those with disabilities. Good stuff. And this one, another good one that went through it. Expanding the eligibility for residential homestead property tax exemptions to those including spouses of military members killed or fatally injured in the line of duty. Currently, the exemption is extended to spouses of military members killed in action, but this basically it furthers it more. So, very good. Pleased on a lot of these, honestly. So, yeah, we got some, good news in Virginia. A lot of good news here in Texas. I'm very happy for family down in San Antonio who are campaigning for John Lujan. Hopefully, he gets the job done. And and it's good to see a bunch of libtard tears all over the place. So again, is this a barometer for 22, 24? Could be. I mean, a lot of states have actually legitimately fortified their elections. Added ID votes, added some signatures here, making it a little bit harder to cheat. So we'll see. But overall, it's good news. It's good news. All right. If you're a black pillar, chill out with that shit. All right, chill out. Okay. Like I said in the very beginning of the video, if you come out, if you actually give a shit, and you come out and you voice your opinion, it makes it very, very, very difficult for these people to cheat. They got to try something else, all right? And so just go out there and vote, okay? If you give a shit, go and vote. It's that simple. Anyway, that's all I got for you guys today. If you like what you see, like what you hear, go ahead and like, share, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter and MindGab. All that stuff's in the description. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Deuces.